Hey, welcome to another session in Cal's Barn. Again, this time I'm not going to be working on GTO. I've been working on GTO, I've been taking videos, just haven't put anything together lately because I haven't actually finished an area. Once I am finished with what I'm working on in the rear quarter panel, then I'll go ahead and put that together, get a video up. But right now, I want to show some modifications I made to my Harbor Freight Vulcan welding cart, just to make it a little easier to use. And let me move the camera, I'll show you what I did. So depending on how you want to look at it, I've made either 2 or 3 changes to the welding cart. First thing I did that's simple, easy to do. This toolbox was just very difficult to get out. You had to lift it up over these tabs. When I lifted it up, it pushed it up so close to the top that I couldn't get my thumb in there to pull it out. So what I did is I bent these tabs forward at about a 45-degree angle, and I just took a what I call a metric fits-all, an adjustable wrench, and just bent the tabs a little bit at a time. Don't bend one corner all the way or it'll start warping the thing, but bent that over till it was about a 45-degree angle, and then I had to get some longer bolts to hold it, and I happen to have some. These are extra long, they don't need to be that long. They need to be at M6 by 1 by at least 15 millimeters long, and these are longer than they need to be. And then I put 3 washers in there. If you want to put more than 3 washers in, and I just used 1/4-inch washers because it's what I had. If you need more than that, you might need to go to a what would it be, a 20 millimeter long bolt. So that was pretty simple, but now I can pull that out very easily, and yet it is still held in. These are holding it, they're just not holding it so tightly that I can't get it out. And I can now get my thumb in above the toolkit so I can get it out of there easily. So that was the 2 things I did, 1 and 2. The third thing I did was a little more complicated. I made a third tray, a tray for the top here, and I put it in existing bolt holes. So again, I had to get longer bolts. The bolts in the top here that hold, from these brackets, those bolts have to be 35 millimeters long, and they're all M6 by 1. So these are 35 millimeters long. And I made this out of 16 gauge. You could probably get away with 18. It seems like this is a 17. It's just right in between. So I'm not going to give you the dimensions. I figure you guys can use a tape measure, and if you can't, you shouldn't be doing this stuff. So I just made it obviously the width of the inside of these rails, and the back rail would be the critical one because these can actually move a little bit. So measure at the back, and then from where the bolt hole is, I came forward about 1 inch to build this lip for the front and the back. And then I added some holes where I wanted to hold my welder in. I didn't bother doing slots like they had down here in the original upper tray. It's now my middle tray. So not terribly difficult, assuming you can bend the flanges up. I'm able to do these flanges in my press. This side was too long, so I put a few slots in there and bent it up, and that worked out pretty well. Bent this up by hand then. But now I've got more storage, and I don't have any problem with this at this height. I suppose if you were running around outside in rough terrain, maybe there'd be a concern about this thing tipping, but it would take quite a bit. I mean, especially with the tank on here. The weight of this being a little higher is virtually nothing. So, the other thing I'm thinking about doing, I may get an 80 cubic foot tank, which is probably 2/3 as high as that. And I'm not sure if the top of the tank will hit the bracket. So what I might do is on the back of this top tray, now that it's higher, so it makes more sense, I think I might drill 3 holes and be able to then take the bracket for the tank and drop it down to this tray rather than up at this height back here. Drop that down a few inches so it would hold the 80 cubic foot tank a little better. So that's what I've done and what I'm thinking about doing, and should be easy for you guys to do. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully you can apply these same modifications to your Vulcan welding cart, make it a little more useful. And if you have any other ideas for improvements on it, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And again, thanks for watching.